True North Reviews, True North Reviews, True North Reviews.
Hey there, welcome to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we are doing an episode of Hot and Cold. This is a video series I like to do where I talk about the best and worst music I heard over the past week, the hot being the best, the worst being the cold, as well as some middle of the road tracks. As per usual, the songs will be linked down below in the description for you to check out the songs, tell me what you think, and while you're down there, make sure to send me some requests for new songs for me to listen to and give my opinion on. Like we usually start off, we have those requests. We have two to get to this week. First off, we have an artist called ssgkobe, and the song is entitled Sandlot. This song has a generic trap beat to it. I would also say a phoned-in performance. Nothing too special about this track in my opinion. And then the other request that we got this week is from Cyrus, not actually from her, but by her. This track is called Good Cry, and when my friend sent this to me, he wasn't so sure I was going to listen since the song came out in 2018, but since I have such a love-hate relationship with Cyrus, the song still piqued my interest. First thing I noticed while listening to it is that there's a similar beat compared to Stuck With You by Ariana and JB. I mean, both of these songs aren't that original, clearly having their R&B roots from older decades, but a decent song from Noah. Good Cry is. Not as catchy, I would say, in terms of Stuck With You, but not Noah's worst song yet. And now, moving on to the hot tracks, the best of the past week. First up, we have Stapleton on his newest single, Starting Over. It's the title track from his upcoming record. It's supposed to come out in November. This new song very much sounds like Starting Over, as in back to basics. A solid acoustic tune from the bluesy country artist on here. The only thing that disappoints me with this song is how the album artwork is pretty plain and boring, much like Childish Gambino's latest LP. There's nothing wrong with the music though. I don't know why I'm complaining about the artwork. I just want something visually appealing too. Moving on, we have Porter Robinson on his newest single. It is called Mirror. The intro on this song is very 1975 sounding, almost like it's from their Notes era, but my god, is it a good track. A catchy chorus, immaculate production. I've enjoyed a couple Porter Robinson tracks this year so far. I'm getting really excited for that rumored album that's supposed to be coming out. Next up, we have Clipping on the song Say the Name, and this is how you do talk rap right. Not only do you have a deep voice, but you have the eerie mood and the production. You can hear flies and chimes in the background. This is a very eclectic sounding horrorcore track. I really enjoy it. Moving on, we have BLACKPINK and Selena Gomez on Ice Cream. I never thought in a million years that we'd get Selena doing a pop track like this. It's honestly more in the style and vein of Charlie XCX, but she and BLACKPINK pull it off. A little bit of rapping in there. It's a fresh, cutting, new sound. Yeah. Another hot track, we have Calvin Harris and The Weeknd on the song Over Now. The Weeknd is sounding like he's back in his element. Last time we heard from him was on the Juice WRLD collaboration a few weeks back, I think, but major props and shout out to Calvin Harris coming through with a fine-ass beat. Sure, it's more accessible and poppier than the recent kind of Weeknd singles, but it's a glossy showcase of slick and sexy pop. I love it. Also, this past week, I am loving the Illenium single Nightlight. It is rich, it is textured, it is a fun electronic song. It has a hell of a beat drop in there. It is sprawling, expansive, dramatic, everything I love about electronic music. A hot track to recommend for country fans out there, we have Hardy on his latest single Truck. I've been waiting for a while to have a Hardy song that I enjoy by himself. Like I said before, Hardy can write great songs as long as they are collaborations, but this new single Truck is an arena-ready track that I'm digging quite a bit. There could be some potential to this new Hardy record after all. Keeping things rolling with the best of the week, we have PVRIS featuring 070 Shake on the song Use Me. I loved some of the songs from 070 Shake's record earlier this year. This feature that she has on this PVRIS song is pretty good. It's alt rock, by the way. One of the better tracks I heard on PVRIS's new record. And wrapping up this week, hot tracks, we have bbno and Lentra teaming up yet again. This time the cut is entitled Ima, and there's a banger beat on here. Fire flows. Best song that I've heard from bbno since his album I Don't Care At All. So that's all the hot tracks for this week. Moving on to the middle of the road, I thought these were okay, still worth a shout out. First up we have Corde featuring Roddy Ricch on Gifted. YBN Cordae has now dropped the YBN part of his name and is now simply going by Cordae. He and Roddy Ricch are up and coming rappers, and this new song was something I was highly anticipating this past week. To be honest though, it ended up being pretty mediocre. The performances leave a lot to be desired. For example, the song's just not as fun, and the vocal exchanges could have been better. Plus, it doesn't help that the hook is very forgettable, so I was a little disappointed with that Roddy Ricch feature and just that Cordae song. Next up, we have Veirs on Turquoise Walls. It is a solid acoustic cut, just a little stale and stunted with its efforts to evolve, as yeah, it does kind of sound like Laura has stagnated, and I've heard the same thing from her over and over again now. Big Sean featuring Nipsey Hussle on their single Deep Reverence is up next here. Big Sean, I gotta give him more credit than what I usually do. I think he is one of the more consistent rappers out there. It's just that he's never fully resonated with me. Granted, his lyricism can be very potent, and he is conscious, he's aware of what he's saying, he sounds very invigorated most of the time, but this song, like older tracks from Big Sean, it just doesn't have that memorable factor to it. Lastly, for the middle of the road this week, we have Judah and the Lion on their single Beautiful Anyway. The banjo on this song, it just sounds like Judah want to be pushing themselves into a corner to sound more and more like Mumford & Sons. That aside, the tune is decent, so yeah, there's that. Now, moving on to the cold tracks, the worst of the week. First up, we have Smashing Pumpkins on a couple new singles, Sear and The Color of Love. Both of these tracks are toothless electro rock. We heard it from the Pixies last year and to a much smaller degree with Sleater Kinney, but Smashing Pumpkins look like they're on a trajectory to be complacent. Major respect for them trying something new and attempting to expand their repertoire, but these tracks are not cutting it. I am so bored listening to them. It is just absolutely mind-numbing. And the final song we have to talk about this week, thankfully only a few cold tracks to be discussing. It is Ty Dolla $ign featuring Nicki Minaj on Expensive. This is the name of it. And while I talked about Ty Dolla $ign kind of trending in this bad direction in his music, I just haven't really enjoyed much of it lately. He's had a couple lackluster singles this year, to put it nicely, but this is by far the most annoying of the bunch. Hoping he can bounce back just like Smashing Pumpkins, but that's hot and cold for this week. Make sure you guys sound off down below in the comments. Let me know what you guys think of this music. Whether you agree or disagree, I'm here to engage with you guys. If you'd like to leave a like, subscribe. If you're new in town, I'd appreciate that. As always, thanks for watching, and have a rockin' day.